which is the record button, so that those people that sign up and watch it either on a different time scale or just need to catch up on it later get to see it too. Welcome into Tuesday morning's Rest, Repair, Recover class. So this is our community class where we don't have the chat at the end. This is the Tuesday class where I leave you in deep rest and hope that you can stay for a little longer. So I log out and leave everyone deeply relaxed, just so you know what to expect at the end. If you are brand new to class, and I see there are a few brand new people here, even if you've got lots of energy, and you probably haven't got lots of energy in the way that we think about that, but you might be thinking, oh, today I'm going to show up and I'm going to do that class. We want you to do the absolute bare minimum, okay? So a tiny bit of movement, and then each time coming down to a longer rest, because we need you to add in these classes to your day with all of the other bits and pieces you try to do, but just make sure you're not taking on too much at any one point, okay? So you need to test the classes a few times on your system to make sure they don't create a kind of alarm bell response with your symptoms, all right? So if you want to, you can just watch. Really happy with that. You can just get comfy, get cozy, and watch, and just kind of feel what it might be like to do it. If you are going to try the sessions, you're brand new, you're on the mat with me, we're just doing level 1, okay? The people who've been coming for longer, they're doing level 2, they add in a bit of resistance. Level 3, it starts to get a little bit more like exercise because you up your reps. But all of the movements that we do with the reconditioning with Ross are the same, okay? So you get to kind of track your progress. And then we do a little bit of variation with the yoga and the deep rest and relaxation. So 2 sections to the class, and if you want to miss a section, you can, okay? Lots of choice. Ross, what do they need? I will go and get myself on the mat.
Good plan. I will spotlight you in a second, Suzy, don't worry. Good, we're going to need some water, guys, or some rehydrating fluid of any type is fine. We're going to need some cushions or some pillows maybe for some of the exercises. If you are chilly where you are, then you might want a cape or a warm blanket or something to put over yourselves in between exercises. If you're level...
You don't understand the cape joke, Ross. So
no, sorry, I'll stop talking about the cape, I promise. We're gonna need, in terms of exercise equipment, if you're level 0 or level 1, you really just need to make sure you're comfortable and working on a soft surface. If you are level 2 or 3, you can use resistance bands, light ones, please. And maybe a couple of tins of beans or some light hand weights if you have any. Great. We're going to start down on the mat. I'm just going to spotlight you, Suzy, so you might have to come up again and change your screen. Sorry.
Oh, yeah. I just want to remind everyone that you will, for my bit, need some kind of belt or tie or scarf, okay? It doesn't have to be a yoga belt, doesn't have to be anything fancy. Let me just put it back on gallery, otherwise I can only see myself. There we go, that's neat. So one of the things that we really like to remind people is if you are used to practicing yoga, if you're used to doing exercise, you kind of need to unlearn it for this kind of work, okay? We are really focusing on retraining the autonomic nervous system. So we come down to the absolute bare minimum. All of the focus is on doing a little bit and coming to rest, doing a little bit and coming to rest, okay? You have to completely rethink the pushing through and trying harder pattern. So I'm coming down onto the mat and I'm just going to get myself comfortable, okay? If you don't like lying flat, if it makes your chest feel tight, put a pillow under your back and then something else for your head, okay? We don't ever want you to put yourself in a situation where you're not feeling like you can breathe properly or that your back or your body is uncomfortable in any way, all right? Okay, make sure you can see the screen as well, otherwise you're going to spend half of the time trying to lift your head. So make sure that you've got the screen at the right level for you so that we can see you and you can see us. There we go.
Absolutely. We'll try and talk you through it as best we can, but it is important to just check if you can follow along with Suzy. That's the best thing. We're going to go with bridge to start with. So again, if Suzy just mentioned it, but if you're new to class, you don't have to do these exercises with us. You can just watch along your first time if you want to. We're going to start with bridge though, so the hands are down by the sides. We're just pushing the hips up really gently as we breathe out, trying to engage those glutes, and those abdominal muscles, and slowly bringing the hips back down to the mat. Great.
So if you're level 1 and you're brand new today, you might just want to do 1. I'm going to do 2. I don't want you to do no more than 2. Again, even if you feel like you can. We've got about 6 or 7 movements that we'll work through with Ross. So you don't feel like you need to do a lot in each of them, okay? Just a tiny bit. So I'm coming to rest now. Obviously, level 2 and level 3, you can do a little bit more. You've been coming to class for longer. Or even if you're level 1 and this is maybe your 3rd and 4th week, maybe you can do a maximum of 3 to 4. Okay, but brand new, we have to test and then test again.
Good. Great. So just resting the legs down. If you've finished, make sure you're comfortable. If you're level 3, and we can maybe just do a couple more exercises, a couple more reps of this, and then again, resting the legs down. Good. So the next one we're going to do is for chest, arms, shoulders, and it's going to be flies and press. So for level 1, we're not going to need anything other than to bend our knees, make sure that the head is supported and we're comfortable. We're going to lift those hands up so they're at chest level. You're going to start by taking them out wide. So making a fist like Suzy's doing, bringing them out wide, little bend in the elbow, back to center, and turning those hands and dropping them gently down to the chest before pressing up. Good. And that might be enough, just that one sequence. If you want to go again, it's that same out wide and then into the press. Good.
Again, I've done a maximum of 2 as a new level 1 and I'm at rest already. Likewise, those people who have been doing the kind of level 0 for a while, maybe you've started there or you've ended up there because of a little bit of a slide. You can just do tiny little bits of the movements. You might just want to lift your arms up and bring them down. But what we encourage you to do is move just a little bit. Maybe if it's just squeezing the muscles in the body, giving the feet a little bit of a flex and point. Just encourage a little bit of stimulation of those systems. When you're resting, I want us to think about how we're breathing. So when we slow the breath down, we give a signal to the brain that we're okay, we're not in panic. And that's a really important piece of the work, okay? Ross, just check that Rosemary is on mute. I think I can just see a couple of people that might.
That's cool. Done.
Yeah. All right, Rosemary, I think we spotted you.
Good. So we're still working with this one. Let's make it the last few reps. Good. We're coming to one for legs next, which is particularly good for the front of the thigh, the quadriceps. So if you're level 1, I think it's a really good idea to have a cushion or a bolster behind the knees here, so back of the knees.
It could just be a pillow, or it could just be a couple of cushions that you put under the knees, but we basically need something to press the leg down into, okay? We're simply going to do level 1 version. We're going to straighten the leg.
That's it. So just lifting the heel up off the floor really gently, just pointing and flexing the foot a couple of times, and then slowly bringing it back down to the floor. Go to the other side and do exactly the same thing. Little point and flex.
Don't forget to breathe, nice and slow. I'm going to do 2 each side. If you just want to do 1, that's fine. But these leg muscles, the quads, they're quite big, okay? And they can take a little bit more movement than our arms can. So play with it, but really listen to yourself. If after 1 you're thinking, no, stop. Come back to that breath, that reassuring, slow breath. Remember, you don't have to do each of the movements that we do with Ross. You might want to do every other one. If you're really working to just come in at this at a very, very gentle pace. that might be the right thing for you, which is why it's important to test the classes out a few times just to find the right baseline for you. Slow inhale, slow exhale.
Good. Most of you done now. You're still working with those legs. Let's make these the last few reps. Great. Okay. I'm going to go back to upper body, and we're going to do our little figure eights. So this one, again, really good for the chest, the shoulders. It's quite good for the upper abdominals as well. So if you're level 1, I want you to make sure it's a really quite a gentle movement. And we're not making those loops of the 8s quite large. They should be quite small, quite tight circles. If you're level 2 or 3 and you want to make them a little bit bigger, you can. You can also bring the hands down and the knee up. So the knee just kind of comes up each time you're swooping the hands down. For level 1, we want to keep the legs still and just move the hands really gently, just like Suzy's doing.
Now I've done a few circles here because I quite like it. It's hypnotic, but don't forget the heart has to work a little bit more to get the blood pumped up into the hands. So I'm bringing my arms down to rest now, and I'm going to come back to rest with the rest of my body. Again, slow breath, jaw relaxed, tongue soft. That's it. Good. We have all sorts of different levels of ability now in this class as people work their way up and gently get the body to be very tolerant now with movement that resembles exercise. Good. How's everyone doing, Ross?
Yeah, really good. Just marveling at the different weights or what's being used for me. It's good. All right, let's make these the last few revolutions. Okay. Time for clamshell, Suzy.
Oh God.
I know. Here for you. We can do it. Come on.
Okay.
Okay.
For those newer to class, I don't like this one. And it doesn't matter how many times I've done it over the past year and a half. It hasn't made it any better for me. But I'm doing it. Here we go.
So make sure we're comfortable on our side. So a really good idea, I think, is to use a few cushions under the head. This makes it much more comfortable for the shoulders. And if we're level 1, all we're going to do is maybe 1 or 2 reps of these. They're quite strong. So we're keeping the heels together and we're just lifting that top knee up. Okay, so really gently taking it up till you feel that kind of working along the side of the thigh. Works inner and outer thigh, it works glutes as well. Don't overdo it though, so just a couple of reps is fine. And if you're level 2 or 3, you can do that straightening of that top leg out as well. Do a little leg lift with it if you want to.
If you've moved yourself up to level 2 recently, after doing a bunch of weeks at the more repetition level of level 1, you don't need to worry about doing the resistance yet if you just want to add up a little bit more with the kind of repetition first. So you don't need to add extra reps and resistance all in the same week, okay? You might just want to work towards doing one or the other.
Yeah, it's really good advice, just taking it slow, not overloading ourselves. Good. If you're comfortable lying on your side, if you finish with that one, yeah, make sure you are comfortable. If you're more comfortable lying on your back, then come to that position if you prefer. We're going to just roll over really gently onto the other side And don't go for the other leg this time. So same exercise, just on the other side. Again, making sure we're comfortable, taking our time getting there. Great. And again, we only need to do a couple of reps of these to really feel it.
Oh, you might find, like I do, that one side is just a whole ton harder than the other. This is my bad side.
Well done, Suzy. You made it through.
I've made it another week.
Do you remember that exercise bit of equipment called Thigh Master? I'm just wondering if it's your birthday coming up, maybe I should shortlist.
Buying a Thigh Master for my 50th birthday present. One of those things that you would see advertised in the Sunday newspapers.
I can't think of something you would like least. Yeah. Oh,
I
yeah. Brilliant. Okay, we're going to come up to a sitting kneeling position next, guys. So take your time getting there. Don't rush it. We're going to just take our time and take the opportunity to just have a drink of water as well.
Here's our cheers moment. If you've been coming to class for a while, you know, because we don't get out much, right? Every opportunity to have a little cheers. Here we go.
Absolutely. Cheers. Happy Tuesday.
There we go.
Emily, that looks like beer. That's not okay. Okay. I'm kidding.
She's got a beautiful green bottle she's drinking.
Good.
Emily's a doctor. She knows not to drink beer at the same time as exercising.
I was only kidding. All right, we're going to be nice and gentle with those knees. So if you're not happy with a kneeling position, you can do this next one from a chair. If you have the opportunity to do that, that's fine. Just making sure that you've got free movement of your arms. Okay, so just waiting for everyone to get into position with this one. There's 4 exercises in one, this one, so it's quite intense. So if you're level 1 and you do want to try it, I really recommend, if it's your first time, maybe just doing one sequence and then resting. If you are level 2 or 3 and you want to use weights for this, you can. You don't have to, it's up to you. We're going to start making a fist. If we're level 1, we're going to take those hands up in front just to that shoulder level and gently back down to starting position. Pulling those hands up now underneath the armpits. Good, and again back down to start. Going out behind into our ski jumper. Excellent, relevant at the moment. Pulling up and then pressing over the head really gently, keeping the back nice and straight. Brilliant. So that's one sequence. So if you want to rest down now, you can into supported child's pose or whatever feels right for you. If you're going again, it's that same sequence of 4. So up in front to start with. If you are new, come down to rest now. I'm going to demonstrate the sequence again just for people that want to be reminded in case you forget, but you don't have to do this again with me, okay? And it is the arms, which do get more tired than the legs because the muscles are smaller. So make sure you're making the right decision if you choose to do a little bit more. But now I'm coming to rest. You can either lie down, lie on your side in a recovery position, or if you quite like this pose, resting child's pose with support, as long as your knees are happy, can be also very, very relaxing. That's it. If you've got the bolster and the pillow and all the bits and pieces, then give it a little play. One of the lovely things about this pose is we get to open out those back ribs, which gives us a better access to a deeper breath because we can kind of access the lower part of the lung a bit more. So if you're in resting child's pose now, just focus on that lovely slow breath, and everyone else is going to catch up with us in a minute. Great. Lovely straight backs from everyone, looking good. Really good, guys. If you're still working, let's maybe make this the last sequence. All right. Time not really on our side today. We're going to go with one more, and then we're going to come to the yoga element. So if you feel quite comfortable where you are, you feel like you've done enough for one day, and you want to wait for the just for the yoga part, you can. If you are coming along with us, we're going to go on hands and knees for the last one. And we're going to do opposition stretch, which is a good one to finish with. It's quite intense. It's working a lot of, basically all the muscle groups in the body, this one. So like I say, if you feel like you've done enough for one day, you want to just rest where you are, that's fine. Otherwise, we're coming to all fours position. And it's raising the right hand out in front as the left leg goes out behind. If you're level 1, I recommend, as Suzy's doing, not lifting the leg too much so you can keep the toes down as you straighten that leg.
Level 2, level 3, feel free to lift the heel up, and you're working the posterior chain a little bit more there, so strengthening up all the muscles in the back of the body. Level 1, we're just keeping on toes down. I'm going to demo 2 each side, but this is a hands and knees thing, so you might just want to do 1 each side and come to rest. Hands and knees can be quite tiring. If you've been coming to class for a while and you're liking the response that your body is having after each of the classes, then allow yourself to experiment a bit. We can get a little bit afraid of stretching ourselves, so just do it really gently in this class. You know, just try adding in 1 more rep of 1 exercise. There's always a way. And again, once you're back in that resting position, just connecting back into the breath, we're really focusing on giving the brain the signals that we're okay, we're safe, we're listening, we're paying attention. Doing all the right things. Good. Has everyone stopped?
Not quite.
The level 3 plus group. It's such a nice movement, that opposition balance. I do really like it.
Yeah, I love that one too. Good. You know, after clamshell, of course. Good. All right. Well done, everyone. Really good work today. I'm going to pass you over. All right. Suzy, all yours.
All right, my lovely. Go get yourself comfortable on your mat. So Ross has hurt his back, so he needs to do some gentle movement too. He hurt his back lifting garden furniture. There we go. Blessing to us all. All right. Now I'm going to sit up and do the little sequence that we do. So I have kind of a bunch of sequences that I try to kind of use on repeat so that you remember them and you could do them at any time. But this one is the one I do the most, and it's a seated sequence. Now, what I will say is, if you're already at the point where you're thinking, I just want to lie down, okay? At no point do I say, no, you must, you have to do this. That's not how it works here, and hopefully you get that as an impression. All of the work we do is very invitational, which means you ask your own body, do I want to do this? Is that going to work with me and my energy levels today? And if the answer is no, come down, rest. We'll catch up with you for the relaxation, all right? So you can see I'm supporting my knees. I am going to make sure that I've got my right leg crossed in front of my left, and I'm sitting on something to lift me up, to elevate me, okay? So all of this is very relaxed. So if you've been someone that's practiced yoga for a long time, maybe your Sukhasana would be kind of slightly more crossed at the shin. I'm just saying, find a comfortable crossed leg position, yeah? There's no kind of rules that I want you to be thinking about other than your breath, all right? If you want to have a blanket around you to keep warm, do, it's fine. So the first thing I want us to do is to close our eyes and just take a little scan in through the mind's eye and just observe what you find. Now, it might be that you've got some different sensations happening within the body, maybe things that are a little less comfortable than you'd like them to be, or sensations that cause a sense of panic sometimes, or maybe that heart rate can do things that makes us feel slightly out of control. I simply want you to observe and just let your body know that you're paying attention and that it's okay. You're listening. As you scan through with your mind's eye, I want you to consciously now slow the breath down. So remember that slow breath tells the brain, I don't need to be in panic. I can switch into that rest and repair mode. But we must keep that slow breath at the forefront of the practice. And it's a tricky one to do because we don't often think about our breath. It just happens. It's part of the autonomic nervous system. It just happens for us. But whilst we're conscious of it, I want it to be lengthened. So you're lengthening the inhale. You can take a little pause at the top, and then you're lengthening the exhale. Take a little pause at the bottom. Breathing in, pause. Breathing out, pause. And as you're breathing in and out, I want you to observe the rib cage, the movement of the rib cage. And rather than focusing on the front of the rib cage and the abdomen itself, I want you to focus on the back ribs and the side ribs. And just see if you can get them to open out a little bit with that breath in. And then draw back in with that exhale. And if you have any sensations arise that you're not particularly comfortable with, if moving or changing your position will help, great. Otherwise, just allow yourself to offer a little reassurance that you're paying attention, that you're listening, and that it's okay. See if that helps to change the shape of the experience a little. All right, so let's see if we can keep that slow breath. And we're going to do a little bit of movement now with the body. So I'm going to open up my eyes very gently. Just bring the focus back into the space. So with my right leg in front, I'm going to take my left arm up. I'm going to stretch the neck. So I'm drawing the ear down towards the shoulder and taking a stretch through the right hand side of the neck. I'm going to bring my hand up, my free hand, and just give the neck a little bit of a rub. So I'm kind of soothing the tendons, the scalenes in the neck there. It's all a bit tight. I'm going to take the two fingers up behind the ear and just gently massage the skin on the head behind the ear, just kind of loosening around the ear itself. Because this is where the vagus nerve kind of moves up and around into the head. We're just kind of softening and loosening. I'm going to pinch the ear a little bit and just pull it away from the side of the head. Stretch the jaw wide open. And release. Let the arm come down, let the head come back. That's it. Turn it one way to center, turn it the other way to center. Lift the chin up to center, drop the chin down. So we keep all of the movement really slow, very slow and soft. Again, it's about cueing the mind to know that we're not in panic, we're not stressed, we're not agitated. So the movement needs to be calm and soothing. The next thing I'm going to do is take a side bend. So I'm going to lean my right hand down onto the floor and just stretch up with that left arm. Let's take a deep breath in, create a bit of space with the breath. And then let's lower the arm back down, all the way back to center. Again, resettle, find center. I'm going to take my left hand across both legs, take a hold of the right knee and just gently draw the spine into a bit of a gentle twist. So the hand comes to the floor behind me. Shrug the shoulders down, but lift the chest up. Now, if you've dropped your chin, can you bring the head back up into alignment? And we're going to send the breath into the ribs and down into the abdomen again. So use a slow breath, a deep breath, to open up inside the torso, and then exhale, squeeze it down. Do one more of those. And let's slowly, gently bring it back to center. Okay. I'm going to take my right arm on top of my left and take Garudasana arms. Now, for some of you, holding your arms up like this will be tiring. So I've got one elbow over the other. But if that's difficult, just give yourself a hug. So I'm walking the elbows past each other. Obviously, it depends how broad your back is. But otherwise, we're looking at the full Garudasana pose. So I've got an elbow on top of the other one, and I'm lifting the arms up off the chest. Turn to the side, you'll see I've crossed over and lifted up. That's it. But I'm going to lift the elbows and now drop the chin. Let's take a lovely breath into the back of the body there. And let's release the arms down. Let them rest. Shrug the shoulders down. That's it. Just let the hands settle, the arms settle. Good. I'm going to turn my chest to face my right knee. Put one hand either side. I'm going to keep the sit bones nice and level. And just take a little bit of a forward bend. Drop the head down towards that right knee. Now, if your back feels a bit achy, we're going to go to the right knee first. Per, come with me the other way. There we go. You got it. If the back is achy, which mine actually is, then we just take a tiny bit. We meet just the very beginning of where we feel some stretch. We don't try and go deeply into it. Again, it's invitational for the body. So use your breath, relax the jaw. And slowly and gently come on up back to center. Now it might make you feel a bit dizzy having had your head down, so just take a moment. Take a really slow, full breath in, breathe out. I'm going to take my hands behind me, interlock behind the head, push the elbows back and lift the chin up. I'm going to look up with my eyes to the right. Just hold them there for a few seconds. Breathe slowly. I'm going to look up to the left. Hold them there for a few seconds. Breathe slowly. Let's take a deep breath in. And now eyes center, bring those arms down. Last one. We go back, then we'll go forward. So I'm going to bring the hands behind me. Lean back on my hands and just push the chest forwards. I'm pulling the shoulders back, squeezing the shoulder blades towards each other. I'm going to drop my chin down. But if you know you don't get dizzy or you don't have any head or neck issues, you can let the head go back, but it is much more of a stretch through the neck, so please be careful. Slow inhale, slow exhale. Now, especially important if you've let the head go, you don't lift the head, you lift the chest. So we're going to push into the hands and bring the chest back to center. The head will just follow. And I'm going to bring my hands in front of me and I release into a little bit of a forward bend. So just let the head, neck, and shoulders come down. Just to wherever feels right. Remember, we're not here to work hard. We're going really softly, creating a really gentle kind of somatic movement experience. Good. Inhale. Exhale, slowly come on back up to center. And I'm going to straighten out my legs and just give them a little bit of a shake out, a bit of a wave from side to side. That's it. Good. We're going to bring the other leg in front. So if you need more support this way around, sometimes we have a tighter hip one side than the other. Maybe you need more support under your seat or under your knees. Just check in with yourself, okay? Allow a stillness. Think about how you're sitting. So when we're not feeling great, obviously one of the first things that goes is our posture. Everything kind of sinks down. And I just want you for this practice to kind of bring yourself into as much of an upright, open, and kind of centered sort of postural alignment as you can. This feels manageable, all right? Just putting yourself into that state. That's it. Keep the slow breath. Lovely. So first thing we did was take the stretch for the neck. So I'm going to take my right arm up and over, take the head and draw the ear down to the shoulder. So you've got to stretch up the left side of your neck. I'm going to bring my hand in, give it a little bit of a rub. That's it. We're basically just soothing ourselves, taking care of ourselves, easing out. Okay, 2 fingers behind the ear. Just give the skin on the side of the head a little bit of a massage there. Good. Let's pull the ear away a little bit. Stretch the jaw open. And release it down. Back to center. So we're going to turn the head. Turn it one way. To center. Turn it the other way. To center. Lift the chin up. To center. Drop the chin down. To center. Great. I'm going to put my hand to the floor. Take my right arm and lift it up. That side stretch. Let's take a deep breath in. And we're going to bring it all the way back down to center. Let the arms settle. Slow inhale. Slow exhale. There's a little tiny person helping someone. That's good. Welcome to class. Let's turn for our twist. So I'm going to take my hand across. Take this arm around behind. Around we go. Into a gentle twist. Slow inhale, slow exhale. Remember, we're thinking about the breath, opening up the rib cage and moving down into the abdomen. Looking over my back shoulder, the jaw's relaxed, the tongue is soft. That's it. Inhale. Exhale, bring it back to center. Just realign. I'm going to take Garudasana, eagle pose with my arms. So I'm going to take my left arm on top of my right. So remember, we're going to cross one elbow over the other. If lifting the arms up is difficult, then you just give a hug and you walk your hands towards each other behind you. Okay? Either way, you're getting the same stretch. One is just a little bit deeper. So if you've got the elbows up, great. Drop the chin down, everyone. Send the breath into the back of the body. So the elbows are just going to come to chest height. So not above the head, they're just down there. That's it. Breathe into that stretch down the neck. Inhale. Exhale and release. Let the arms come down. Shrug the shoulders down. Settle them back. Check in with your breath. Slow inhale, slow exhale. I'm going to turn my chest towards my left knee, one hand either side. Inhale. exhale, gently down we go. A little bit of a side bend. Breathing into the back, wherever you feel this. Work really gently. And then slowly, gently inhale and come back up to center. Again, realign. And take my hands behind my head once more. Interlock, push the head back into the hands, open the elbows up. I'm going to look up to my left first. Hold the eyes there. Again, this is a particularly focused vagus nerve stimulating exercise. Bring the eyes to center. Take the eyes up the other way. Breathe. Inhale. Back to center. Let's drop the arms down. All the way. Again, let them settle. You'll feel the blood kind of move back down into the arms. I'm going to take my hands behind, leaning back, chin down or chin back, whichever feels right for you. Bring the shoulders back, gently open up the chest. Breathe. Good. You're either letting the head go totally or you keep the chin down, not a kind of halfway strain on the neck. I'm going to inhale. As I exhale, lead with the chest to bring yourself back up. Bring the hands forward and just take that soft forward bend. Just a little bit down, not thinking about trying to go far. Undo the habit of more is more, because this class, less is more. Slow inhale, slow exhale. And then when you're ready, gently and slowly come all the way back up. And we're going to straighten the legs out one last time. Give them a little roll in and out. And we are headed down onto our mats. Now, I always do a little bit of a leg stretch out, especially because we've been sitting cross-legged. So make sure you have your belt just nearby and your blanket so that you can get cozy and warm. But we're simply going to straighten out and stretch the legs first from a lying down position. Now, I would encourage everyone to have another cheers moment with me. Om Shanti. Let's come down onto our backs. Remember, if lying flat isn't your thing, be on a pillow and a cushion for your head. Yeah. I've got the belt in my hands and I'm going to take the belt around the right foot and just stretch that leg up. It can feel really nice if you've had the legs crossed for a while. Just give everything a little bit of a release out. Draw the toes down towards the face. That's it. I've got my lower leg bent, so there's no strain on the lower back at all. And let's release. I'm going to switch it around. Gently bringing the other foot. That's it. Keep the head, neck, and shoulders down as best you can. Great. Inhale. And then exhale. Let's release. Bring it down. And now you're going to get yourself comfortable for the relaxation. So if you're going to stay lying on your back and you're happy there, please put a bolster or a pillow underneath the knees. Okay, so we've got a nice soft tilt on the abdomen. It means the psoas can relax, the diaphragm is going to be able to move freely. If you don't like being on your back, be on your side with something underneath that top knee. But most importantly, I want you warm. So get cozy. You can use a blanket, you can use a throw, you can just put on extra layers of clothing, whatever you're going to do. It all depends on where you are and how much your heating is set to. But get yourself warm. There we go. So now that you've settled yourself down, first of all, just do another body scan. Just check through. Is there anything I need to pay attention to? Anything that needs adjusting? And if you're noticing any strange sensations, and I know that this recovery journey, the body can do all sorts of strange and unusual things. Most of them, I think we've come to learn, don't really mean very much. So actually, if you can just observe any sensations that are happening with just a slightly detached eye and say, I see you, I know you're there, but I'm okay. Concentrate on my breathing and help to regulate things here. So thanks for the signal. I want you to take a really slow, full, deep breath in, and then slowly, gently sigh that breath out through your nose, or if you need to, through the mouth, it's fine. And let's just do that once more. A lovely, slow breath in. And then sigh the breath out. Slow inhale, slow exhale. Now just come back to a soft pattern of breath. Forehead soft, jaw relaxed, tongue soft in the mouth. The back of the head and neck and shoulders, all heavy, supported, released down to the floor. The upper arm, the lower arm, the hands, released down to the floor. The shoulder blades, the middle and the lower back, released down to the floor. The rib cage softly moving, expanding and contracting. And the abdomen gently rising and falling with the breath. The back of the hips heavy. The upper leg, the lower leg. The knees, the ankle joints. The back of the heel, sole of foot, top of foot and toes. All heavy, released and relaxed. So the body is still, the breath is slow, and the mind is calmer. And I just want you to choose a state. Maybe it's a state of calm, or a state of peace and tranquility, or a state of freedom. Whatever that state is that you'd like to sort of bring to life now with your meditation. I want you to focus on one state that you'd find quite desirable in this moment. And it might just be comfortable or calm. Just have a little explore around in the mind. And once you've landed on something, I want you to focus on that word and what it means. And as you work, breathing slowly in and out, I want you to sort of breathe in the essence of that state. Breathe it to life. And with every exhale, you're letting go of anything that doesn't serve you, moving in that direction. So breathing in what you want and breathing out what doesn't serve. And with every exhale, you're allowing the body and the mind to enter into a deeper state of rest and relaxation. Just surrendering down into the floor. Surrendering into that desired state. I'm going to invite you to stay for as long as you can with that breath and have a wonderful rest. We'll see you next time. Have a lovely day. Have a great rest.